Good evening. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Good evening, good evening. We're going to call this meeting to order. I don't have a gavel. All right. We're going to start this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and my friend Alexander is going to start us off. If everybody would please stand up. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Lord, we come to you today with thankful hearts, God, and we're so grateful for all that you provide for us, God, and all that you do for this community, all that you do for each of us individually, God. And God, we also just thank you for the city of Meadows Place, for all those who pour so much into this community. God, and we're also thankful for Assistant Chief Ashton, just for all that he has done, and just, God, we just ask that you continue to protect him and all of our officers, as well as all of our first responders. We just ask that you bless this time, that you are in the center of these conversations in this meeting. We thank you, we love you. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
All right, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We have quite a packed meeting. We are going to start this meeting with the joint public hearings. This is a little confusing. We have two separate public hearings. So I'm going to open one. I'm going to be very specific about which one I'm opening, and please reserve your comments for that specific one. I'll close it, and then we're going to open the second one. Okay. We're going to go to Agenda B. Item number 1, conduct a joint public hearing before the City of Meadows Place City Council and the Planning and Zoning Commission for the purpose of receiving written and oral comments from any interested persons regarding a specific use permit application from AutoZone Parts Incorporated, care of Yen W. Lai P.E. per Meadows Place Code of Ordinances, Chapter 153, Section 15394.94B2D2, allowing for auto parts sales AutoZone on the property located at 11707 West Airport Boulevard, Meadows Place, Texas 77477. We have a representative from AutoZone here this evening, so I'm going to open comments, but we're going to start with our representatives from AutoZone so we can hear a little bit from them before we take public comment.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Rick Russell. I'm a district manager with AutoZone, representing AutoZone here with this. Give you a little bit of background on AutoZone if you don't know. We've been in business since 1979, July 4th. We have about 8,000 stores worldwide. We are in Mexico. We do have some in Brazil. We have one in Hawaii. I tried to apply for it. They didn't let me go. But the building and stuff, to give you an idea of what AutoZone does when we go in to build the building, it'll probably be approximately, and I don't have the total square footage or anything on it, but usually it's anywhere from about 6,600 square feet to 7,000 square feet. The hours of our operation, we're open 7 days a week. Most of the time it's set at 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. That would be the latest. As far as deliveries and stuff, most stores, when they start out like that, will have one delivery a week. Most of the time, it's going to be what we call an unmanned delivery, which is done after hours. So the store will be closed down and stuff, and then the delivery is made, and then they leave. On new startup stores and stuff, we'll employ right at first about 10 to 15 employees. We'll have a full staff as far as like a store manager, which is salary. We'll have what we call parts sales managers, which are hourly, and usually there's 2 or 3 for that, a couple of full-timers, and the rest come back with as far as part-timers. As far as vehicles, I know a lot of people say, well, we're going to have a shop working out there in the parking lot and things like that. We don't do that. We're not mechanics or anything like that. We sell auto parts. Now, if somebody does come up and they need a wiper blade change and stuff, yes, we do that. On batteries, it's a simple install. then we would do things of that nature also. But as far as major overhauls like changing an alternator, a starter, or a belt, or CV shaft, or anything like that, we're not set up to do that. That we would refer to another local shop around, usually someone who does business with us, and then we will sit there and solicit that to the customer for them to be able to go and get their vehicle fixed. We do what we call check engine lights and stuff, which will help let the customer know if you have a check engine light that comes on to help them. We'll do anything that we can within our little scope of things, short of major overhauls and things of that nature. And I believe that gives a pretty good summary of what we've got.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Public comment is open for the AutoZone located on West Airport. Anybody that would like to speak on this can come to the podium at this time.
Hi, Silvia Romano, 11923 Bloomington Lane. I don't have, the AutoZone looks like a clean business and everything. My only comment for this business specifically is we already have a Chevy Lube and an O'Reilly Auto Parts in the last few years. We are a square mile city, and I think that is too many auto shops for our city. For this one, that's the only comment that I have. That I would really like to have something different than auto shops in our city. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Would anybody else like to come to the podium?
Honorable Mayor, distinguished council, staff, Billy Burge with Ayrshire Corporation. 2 reasons for being here tonight. Number 1 is to support AutoZone. AutoZone, believe it or not, this is the second AutoZone we have done. We have one out off the Gulf Freeway in the Sagemont area. It's going into its 10th year in the area. It's next to Walgreens, so it kind of has the same profile as will be here. Good neighbors, and they've the junior college, San Jacinto College, is there. Memorial Hospital's across the way, and we have good neighbors. We're getting ready to start a McDonald's in there, but more importantly, I just like to speak that that's a subdivision very much like the Meadows, a lot older. Same profiles, same builders that were here were builders back there. So the community is a much larger one than this, but this one's special because it's been able to be a city within itself and the people within itself and maintain that for 40 years. That's hard to do, and especially when so much growth's come out. So I want to speak to the former mayor and all the mayors and all the councilmen, police chief that's being honored tonight, to say once again, Ayrshire is very proud to support your neighborhood and will be to be part of our resume and our history in Houston, and our legacy is this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Would anybody else like to come to the microphone to speak about AutoZone?
Terry Henley, 12203 Austin Drive. Billy, I appreciate you being here. AutoZone, in my opinion, we welcome it. And each one of you sitting on council was elected by the citizens to do what's in the best interest of the city. We have been trying for 30 plus years to bring in additional businesses, something like AutoZone. We've got O'Reilly over on West Belford. It's excellent for the city. It brings in additional sales tax. AutoZone will be a very good addition to our city. Hopefully it'll increase the traffic a little bit, and that's what we want. More traffic in our city more people here, and maybe the more they're going to buy and the more sales tax we get. That's going to help all of us. So please keep that in mind. It includes the planning and zoning too. It is important for the city to try to build out the rest of what little land we have left, and some kind of business that will create sales tax for us and help all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Henley. Would anybody else like to come and speak about AutoZone? All right, I'm closing the public hearing for AutoZone, agenda item B under number 1. We're going to move on to number 2, conduct joint public hearing before the City of Meadows Place City Council and the Planning and Zoning Commission for the purpose of receiving written and oral comments from any interested persons regarding a specific use permit application from Corey Corbin of Collision Motor Specialist per Meadows Place Code of Ordinances, Chapter 153, Section 153.95B2C4, allowing for auto body shop on the property located at 12002 Southwest Freeway, Meadows Place, Texas, 77477. Do we have a representative here to talk to us about the Collision Motor Specialist before I start taking comment? Would anybody like to stand up and talk to us about? Excellent. Come on up. Please state your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Jimmy Ramirez. I am the owner of Collision Motor Specialist. Good evening, Mayor and City Council.
Good evening.
Everybody else. So I'm born and raised in Houston. Started a body shop in 2011. We are a Tesla BMW Mini certified collision center, looking to bring jobs and work into this community. The property that we're looking at occupying was a collision repair center for over 10 years. There will not be a difference other than we're much more qualified to do factory repairs on vehicles. With that being said, I was approached by Porsche, who you guys may know has opened up a new store right in Sugar Land, right on your border on 90 and 59. So my goal would be to bring in Porsche as well as another certification. Other than that, I've always lived around here. I grew up in Alief, very close to here. You could look us up, have very great reviews. I'm not a fly-by-night company. We do things right. We make cars safe for people. And that's kind of where I'm at with this.
I just have a quick question for you. Is your business wholesale directly for the dealerships, or are you retail and you charge sales tax?
We're retail.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Public comment is open for the Collision Motor Specialist located on the Southwest Freeway.
My name is Benita Garcia. I'm at 11919 Bloomington Lane. I'd like to thank the council members this evening for allowing us, the homeowners along the border of the commercial property on Dorrance, to voice our concerns about the potential tenants that will impact our homes, our lives, our health, our property value, and our community. Many of the families that reside within 200 feet, including myself, are in opposition of the specific use permit application of the Meadows Place Code of Ordinance, Chapter 153, Section 153.95B2C4, due to our experiences with previous auto body repair tenants. To explain it gently, we've experienced fumes, light pollution, engine brake sound pollution, the vehicle haulers that brought cars in throughout the day and night for 24 hours a day for years. We've been subjected to revving engines, testing at maximum, racing down the back roads, screeching brakes, being tested over and over and over again. They roared through the backs of our homes daily for years. Our families, this is unwelcome and often painful to listen to. We've endured the toxic paint fumes, sandblast, Bondo dust, overspray particles that blanketed our homes and vehicles. We've watched unidentified ooze creep toward our fences. For long enough, we've tolerated the bombardment of noise pollution, hazardous toxic fumes in the air, an abundance of light pollution, and probably even water pollution from the overspray runoff. Even our streets and our infrastructure has been impacted by needing to be repeatedly repaired due to the damage by their equipment. If explaining how deafening the vehicle testing isn't enough, let me explain more of what we experienced. We experienced constant machine sounds, compressors, generators, vibrating hums that penetrate our homes, alarm systems, faulty alarm systems, and alarms with speakers that were directed at our homes. There were multiple times that I contacted their facility directors to explain that there were horrible noises coming from their air conditioners systems 24 hours that was uncontrollably loud or uncomfortably loud. All these sounds not only impacted our comfort, but it also can impact our health through prolonged exposure. There are requirements when in a paint booth. The workers must have on respirators to protect their lungs and respiratory systems from vapors and fumes. The ventilation that they're using is our clean air. We experience clouds of sandblasting dust, dry spray paint and Bondo dust, overspray that blanket our homes and vehicles. I've read that even an N95 mask will not protect us against sandblasting, Bondo dust, or toxic levels of vapors or paint vapors. We are directly affected, and our homes are the first homes exposed. We dare not leave our windows or doors open. Most families that back up to the commercial building have security lights shining directly into our backyards. It makes sleep without blackout curtains near impossible. We experience near daylight even in the middle of the night. Car haulers that seem to carry floating cars over the walls blaze red lights into the back of our homes. Imagine having ambulance lights dance across your windows every few minutes, every night for years. I would also like you to consider the impact that they have on our water, waste, and sewage treatment due to the potential harmful runoff. We're requesting that the city do a Phase 2 industrial environmental inspection report and consult with the TCEQ. And I say, let's learn from our history from the previous auto body shops that have damaged our roads, polluted our water, caused terrible noise pollution, traffic buildup, and we ask that the zoning be changed to not allow auto body shop repair and sales onto this site and remove these options from our commercial district to not allow zoning from them. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your input. Would anybody else like to come to the microphone for the collision motor specialist? Oh, next.
This is Mike Besler, 11842 Mulholland. Where exactly do you propose to put this? It says on the Southwest Freeway is the address. Where is that? Is that the old Direct Auto place?
It's kind of the center of the old Sam's Club, if you were familiar with that.
The old what? Oh,
when Sam's Club was there, it's
yeah.
kind of it's the centerpiece of the building. So it's not the Garden Ridge piece, but it's right up against that what was Garden Ridge at the time.
Oh, okay. So is this an inside job only?
I believe everything is inside, correct?
Has there been an environmental impact study done? Or what's this going to do to our environment and to our air, to our water? I propose what the lady said, that you go to the TECQ and get an environmental impact study before we vote on this. You see exactly what's this going to do to our community. Because the things that she pointed out and the things that have been going on when Direct Auto was over there, and the cars coming in day and night is really, really having a bad impact on our city and an impact on our environment. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bessner.
Hello, good evening. My name is Corey Corbin, and I'm a representative for Collision Motor Specialists going in a Centerpiece in the old mall. I just wanted to address a couple of comments that were made. Sandblasting, there will be zero sandblasting done. We're not that kind of body shop. And also, I do TCEQ permits. So I know that as a body shop, TCQ, the amount that's coming out of the duct work is in a de minimis level for TCQ, which means it's so low they don't even need a permit. So we would just be going to TCQ and putting down our name, giving them our paint and chemical mixtures, and then we would be on a registered list saying that we're registered, that we're so low that we don't even need a permit. As far as all of the other horrific loud sounds and stuff like that, I apologize, but that is not something, well, one, when people are racing down the street, I don't know if that's something we can control, but that is not something that will be happening with our body shop, and so thank you very much.
Before you leave the mic, do you have proposed hours of operation yet?
Yeah, can he go up?
So essentially, we will be moving our main body shop with our certifications over here. And the hours of operation, we're only open Monday through Friday. And it's typically from 8 to 6. That's it. As far as paint booths, runoff, environmentals, I could tell you this, for 11 years of running my own body shop, because I've had to do phase 2s, I haven't had any issues with environmentals before. I run a very clean shop. It is a high-end dealership shop. We don't race cars. We're not in that business. And we do a lot of Teslas, which don't have any emissions. In fact, most of the new car brands are moving to EV, where you don't have your combustible engines anymore. So you don't have the environmental impacts that we've had over the years. And as far as the 18-wheelers coming in, we don't have 18-wheelers. We don't sell cars. I'm not a car dealership across the street who's fixing 4,000 cars a day. No, we do quality repairs. We're not here to impact people's lives in a negative way at all. We're trying to actually serve the community and help people who get in accidents. A long time ago, I did do a lot of Fraser units. If you guys are in the medical field, you know that Fraser is actually looked at occupying this whole complex. I told them about it before, but Sugarland got them. They were an ambulance manufacturer. They would have made a lot more noise than I will. We keep everything inside. We're only taking 34,000 square feet out of a couple 100,000 square feet. It's really not going to be to nowhere near the extent of how Texas Direct Auto and Vroom were in there. I mean, I could tell you myself, it's night and day. I was asked by the old owners that own the back part of this. One of the brothers is a personal friend. I told him I couldn't even reuse his equipment because it was so old and outdated. and it didn't meet my standards, and it doesn't meet the standards for Tesla, BMW, or Porsche.
Will you have a after-hours record drop somewhere?
So we're opposing the property across the street. There is a storage. There's a lot over there. We would have it dropped off over there. No lights would be going off or anything. It's not that kind of place. We're not trying to be that. I'm not trying to make this woman scared to have overspray on her car or have to have blackout curtains. I'm not that shop. I could assure you that.
So your record drop would be on the north side of Dorrance, is what you're saying?
Correct. Oh, I believe so. It's the property adjacent from there. We're not trying to drop off right in front of the building. It's gated already. Drop off a few cars. We move them in throughout the day.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Would anybody else like to come to the microphone?
Hi again, Sylvia Romano, 1923 Bloomington Lane. Okay, there are a couple of things different. Basically, there are several concerns. I won't say why I'm in opposition of this. Auto repair shops are always going to have a negative impact in our town. We are a family town. I mean, we are not. It looks very nice what the owner is saying for a place where now people are living in the backyard. They create noise pollution, and we have the experience with the previous renter, Autodirect and Broom. It was honking, racing of vehicles, non-stopping alarms. Then maybe it's not the owner's decision, but the employees could be that, I don't know. Air pollution. If you go to the Texas Gov, they said auto repair shops can have a number of environmental concerns: air pollution, hazardous waste, spills and leaks. They contribute to the risk to public health and urban areas. We have kids living in our street in Bloomington. We have a 1-year-old. We have Alex living there. We have kids that are more sensible to this kind of air pollutions, and they are very, very close to they are in our backyard. One concern that I have hearing is we are talking about part of this mall. So what business are we going to have in the other part of the mall, in that shopping center, if you will, if they are going to have an auto repair shop? Are we going to have a nice business on the side, or are we going to keep accumulating auto shops? And we are open the Pandora box to have more collision centers coming on. Maybe this is a great business, but we are opening, if they are using part of that, they are opening the whole business, the whole mall to more collision centers, and we cannot do anything about it. What's going to happen with the brand new restaurant that they are doing? Are they going to stay, or they're going to leave like the Brazilian place? There are no shops or nice places that they can survive with an auto repair shops on the sides. And the other thing that I didn't understand is they are going to use also part of the Dorrance Street to drop some cars. Are going to be security? What's happening with the streets? They're going to damage our road. There are going to be traffic concerns. I know that we have a meeting regarding the dropping cars with no security. Who's going to be taking care of the cars that are dropping after hours? I don't know. I have something. I really think that our city needs to be thinking in something that beautify, like make it beautiful, make it nice. And this is really a health issue for all of us. What is going to happen with our property taxes, our property values, if we are in a hazardous street? I mean, really, I'm concerned about Alex. I'm concerned of me. I'm a cancer survivor. I don't want to have cancer again. I don't understand why are we so focused on collisions and auto repairs. Like I said before, the previous one, it was just, okay, too many auto shops, but I have no complaint about it. But I really have a really concern about this one. I think that they should much better for a bigger place with no houses on the back. And we can find something nice for the city of Meadows. It's 1 square mile of happiness. Let's keep it that way, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Would anybody else like to come to the microphone?
My name is Sam Ali. I'm the property owner of the Southwest Freeway that they're talking about. Couple of things I wanted to address. The total square foot that Texas Direct Auto was occupying was 350,000 square feet, and they were taking over 18 acres of land across the street. Right now, this CMS Auto is going to take over 30,000 square feet of space and occupying 1 acre of land across the street. It's a big difference in what Texas Direct was and what this shop is. This is an upscale automobile shop. This is not Texas Direct where they were giving out 3,600 cars a month. These people will probably service maybe 30 to 60 cars total a month. It's a big difference in what was there and what is now. Somebody said something about what's coming there next. We are working on other ventures to get some family entertainment stuff to come in there to help with that as well. So there's other things that are coming in, but we're working through that.
Thank you so much.
So I want to address the pollution concern. We do use water-based paint, not lacquer. It's really mandated by our manufacturers. This comes from Europe, that we use waterborne paint. Our paint booths are so advanced, it tells us when to change our filters. If we don't change the filters on there in time, the paint booths actually don't work. As far as any other pollutions, we're not changing oils. You don't get that runoff. We don't do that. We're not a mechanic shop. We're a body shop. Other than that, everything is pretty governed by the Body Shop Association too, from our manufacturers. They come in and they audit us. They do inspections on the things we're doing quarterly, randomly. It's very vigorous. It is, like Mr. Ali said, it's a high-end shop. We're not the junkyard that you've noticed. It's kind of like you've already had all these dealerships right here, and they do body work. Some of them I'm pretty sure of, but they do mechanical work as well. We're not doing the mechanical work. In the scale of the size that we're doing, we focus on quality, not quantity, like Texas Direct was. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Would anybody else like to come to the microphone for public comment on Collision Motor Specialist?
And by the way, I actually employ somebody who lives in this city, and I should have told him to come here and talk.
What is this?
Terry Henley, 12203 Alston Drive. Most of the audience don't know, but we've had a paint and body shop, an auto repair shop in that location for the last 8 or 10 years, and they weren't near the quality of what we're getting ready to put in there right now. Vroom has been there for many, many years, and they did all this stuff plus a lot more. And we got automobile dealerships up there that do a hell of a lot more than these people are going to do. It appears to be a very quality operation, and probably the only reason we're having to come before council and planning and zoning is because it's changing businesses. If it had been the same business and they just took over, you'd never have to go through this rigmarole anyway. So it sounds like a quality operation. It's something we need to do, and I hope y'all vote accordingly. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Henley. Would anybody else like to come to the microphone?
So residents on this side of Kirkwood are often regarded by our fellow Meadows Place, or often disregarded by our fellow Meadows Place residents. I've often heard our neighbors jokingly say that we're the abandoned children of the city. This side is often overlooked. On the other side of Kirkwood, there's beautiful, updated parks, pools, recreational areas, community gardens, habitat trails, biking and hiking trails, nature centers, and butterfly gardens. On this side of Kirkwood, we're expected to tolerate dirty, toxic, dumpy, barred-off car lots and junkyard abandoned cars. Like, who's going to advocate for us? It's you guys. It's our council members that are responsible for keeping our community's needs and health and safety a priority. Our city is small. What little commercial space we have available should embody what our community has to offer. When you drive into the city by way of Dorrance, you're greeted by barricaded commercial space on both sides of the street. It makes for an unwelcoming entrance. The businesses that we allow to come into Meadows will reflect on our community. And we're really close. Our proximity to the freeways make us a valuable location. Let's look forward to a more positive and beautiful and economic future.
Thank you so much. Would anybody else like to come to the microphone?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm having residents text me and pointing out that Helfman Ford and Sterling McCall both have large body facilities, and I don't have seen anyone get up in arms about them being here and everything. And actually, a lot of them are a bit closer to the homes, because if I'm reading this plat right, or this blueprint, that it's going to be in the middle of the plaza where y'all are going to be, not right up against Bloomington's side. Okay. So, we already have two of them here, and y'all are going to do high-end cars. You're not going to have the wrecked ones coming in looking like something I drive, correct? I don't know, you might drive with Ferraris. No, my knees are too old for that. But several people have texted me, and they say they are for this. It looks like a good plus for our city. The building's there and everything. Y'all, with the equipment y'all will be using, they're car people, so they know what you're talking about. I had not a clue when you were saying things. And also, they said yes. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelly. Would anybody else like to come to the microphone? At this time, I'm going to close public comment. And I will be, Nick and P&Z are going to come into this. They wait? Yeah, right? Nick is going to stay. P&Z is going to go.
I'll meet them in there as soon as the service recognition is done. Nick will join y'all as soon as the service recognition is done.
Which brings us to agenda item C, service recognition. We're going to recognize Assistant Chief of Police Jack Ashton for 30 years of service.
As the mayor approaches the podium, I just wanted to give a quick biography of Assistant Chief Jack Ashton. Assistant Chief Ashton graduated from the police academy in December of 1986. Some of us were not in the workforce in 1986. He started his first police job in his hometown of Roland, North Carolina, as a police officer in February of 1987. That town had a population of 928, and he made up 25% of that department because they had 4 employees. In July of 1988, he began a second job in Creedmoor, North Carolina, a little bit larger. Started as a patrolman, then an investigator, and then a canine officer with a golden lab named Toby. His take-home car at that time in 1988 was a 1987 Plymouth Fury with a 440 Magnum. Do we have a shot of that car? Yes, we do. That was his patrol car. Assistant Chief Ashton came to Texas in 1991. He went to work for the Sugar Land Police Department at first and then decided to come to the city of Meadows Place in 1994. He began as a reserve officer. He's reserved and worked at the Sugar Land Police Department until a full-time position opened up. He's worked here as a patrol officer, a sergeant, a lieutenant, and a captain at the Meadows Place Police Department, and was most recently promoted to the Assistant Chief of Police in April of 2021. Assistant Chief Ashton's accomplishments include obtaining a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from University of Houston Downtown in 2009. He earned a master's degree in criminal justice management and leadership from Sam Houston State University in 2011. And finally, he did graduate from the Law Enforcement Management Institute of Texas at Sam Houston State University in 2011. Mayor?
It has been an incredible honor to get to know Jack Ashton since becoming mayor just these last few months. He has an incredible gift at making everybody around him just feel very comfortable and laugh. So I am pleased to give you this pin, sir, for your 30 years of service.
Well, first of all, thank everybody for coming out and celebrating with Jack. I've only known him a day or two. Since we started way back when, there was hardly anything out here. And it's been a pleasure working with him, but I do want to say that 30 years is a long time, and not everybody can hang in there that long at one place and serve the citizens of this community has been one of his biggest accomplishments, even though I couldn't list that. So we want to say thank you, Jack, for your service.
Thank you.
And with that, we think we deserve a speech.
I would like to thank the Academy. Actually, I would like to thank Lori for sharing the chief with me for 30 years. I'd like to thank Kirsten for hanging in there nearly 30 years. And we'll make it a few more. Thank y'all for coming out.
Anybody here to celebrate Jack is welcome to come to a reception in the foyer.
Thank you, but I do want to point out one more thing before you leave. He's got some nice little toys up here that are presented by the police department for his 30 years. And so if you'd like to look at them on your way out to the reception, please feel free. Mayor, can we take some pictures real quick?
We're going to move on to agenda item D, and that's all of our reports. I'm so sorry. So you are welcome to stay and listen to the rest of the meeting, or head out and have some cake. Either way is good. Yes, we will. They will. They're convening in a conference room. We'll move on with our meeting, and those two agenda items are at the end of our agenda. So yes, we are coming back to it. You're just here for a little bit. Yes. Chief, I want you to get to eat that cake, so we're going to start with your report.
All right, are you all ready?
We are ready.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I feel alone now. Yeah. Well, thank you. We always start out with our number of accidents. Quite a bit of a change from last month, as you can see. We had 7. Number of arrests, 2. Calls for service, 1,926. 38 of those were reports. 320 on traffic, with 851 traffic charges. City ordinance violations, 4. 108 warnings issued on traffic with 192 violations. City warnings issued for city ordinance violations, 21. And the total activity count was 3,041. Our assaults for the month were 0. We did have 2 BMVs. We had 2 residential burglary, or burglary business, excuse me. Residential burglaries were 0. 11 on the city ordinance. 3 criminal mischief, fraud, we had forgery, we had 2. Robberies, we'll go over that in a little bit. Property checks, 2 on the property robberies. I'll go over that in a moment. 2891 was our property checks. 5 for theft, 0 UUMV on our TLC program. There was 25 passes with 2 failures for a total contact of 27. Those will probably be going up, and I know they will for a fact. This next month, as we move into the holiday season, we'll be doing more of those contacts. Looking on to the report, wanted to talk about the 2 B&Bs up front. They were in the residential area. At this time, we don't have any forensic evidence or video that has been found. On the criminal mischief, as you can see, the first 2 reports are from one business. We're looking at a person of interest. As you can see there was a fired employee that may have committed these crimes. The next page, on page 3, let's look at Starbucks. I'm sure some of you have heard of an incident that occurred there. Kind of wanted to go over that. So one of our officers, fortunately, was doing his patrol and spooked them as they were cutting the copper wiring out from the main units there. At this time, we know there were 5 individuals. We do have a little bit of video, but it's not enough to pick out a particular person or be able to use it to identify anyone at this time. And we are checking through our leads online, which allows us to access copper cells and different things to try to look to get to suspects that we may be able to identify. But it was about $40,000 worth of damage. Again, they got spooked from our patrol. Robberies, we had 2. One was at the U-Horse, where 2 males entered the store and left without purchasing 2 saddles, as you can see on there. Total value was $1,596. The next one was CVS. A male subject approached the checkout counter and robbed the employees at gunpoint. On this one, I do want to say that as of today, I got an email from our detective that's working the case, and it appears that HPD has arrested the suspect. They were wanted in other burglaries. Incidentally, I think it's important to point out that one of our officers saw 2 suspicious people a few nights before, stopped them and identified them, and it's probably our 2 guys. So they had done some proactive work, but they're hitting the area according to HPD. I can't disclose any more than that because one of them is a juvenile. Let's move to thefts on the next page. We'll move to flock safety hits. You can see we're down by 10 from the previous month. There was 75. Cases that were directed or connected to flock. You see Officer Richmond found a parked vehicle, and it turns out it was reported as stolen. The owner did not want to prosecute, but during the investigation was issued a citation for possession of drug paraphernalia and released. The vehicle was towed per the owner. On our arrest, you can see the two that were listed there for possession of marijuana and PCS. And then for notable information, wanted to mention, due to us doing some preventive patrol from our crime analysis on BMVs, that's when Officer Bruno was watching a suspicious vehicle in the neighborhood, stopped it after reviewing a registration violation, and we confirmed warrants out of Sugarland and marijuana was found on the vehicle, and it was transported to jail. The other thing I wanted to mention is we did have another agency compliment coming from Fort Bend County Detectives Sheriff's Department and the Detectives Division. I don't know if y'all seen the letter that was posted, but that's just one of the things we do. They were very grateful for our quick response, especially they were unfamiliar with this area, and it made him feel a lot more secure. UUMV suspect, this is on Kinsey Court. This is a stolen vehicle that we had a while back. And the vehicle was stolen and assistance by an acquaintance, and ID was unknown at the time of the residence. CID located the vehicle, our CID, in Houston. A toothbrush was in the vehicle was found, and we did DNA on that and returned with a CODIS hit, which is our combined DNA index system. And now we have the victim did pick out the suspect out of a photo lineup, so we'll be getting a warrant for that person. I also want to mention our seizure of funds award. This is a case that goes back with Walgreens. An officer investigated a suspicious vehicle, found drugs, a pistol, and $16,000 in cash. We recently were notified that seizure of that cash was awarded to us, and the paperwork's in process. I want to mention another incident that occurred back in 22. It was a robbery case where a victim was robbed at gunpoint near the Hamptons, and a car was stolen. Patrol found the vehicle with the gun inside soon afterwards in Houston. A straw that the suspect was wearing, straw hat is what it's supposed to say, that the subject was wearing was found inside and sent for DNA testing. The DNA came back with another CODIS hit, which led to the suspect being identified. An MPPD detective recently met with the defendant's attorneys who viewed all our evidence here at the PD, and the next day notifies that the suspect pled to 35 years in TDHSC. Moving on to additional notes. Grant status, met with a vendor that set a plan in motion for our dispatch console replacement. So we're still currently seeking the $250,000 for in-car camera, video cameras that, ours, I've mentioned it before, but our system that we're currently using, that vendor is going out of business or has gone out of business. So we're looking for a replacement on that. And they're working on a secondary source, and it's under review. City of Meadows Police, our TDM and FEMA recovery team, Jack and Anna Maria, weekly meet with in person and on Zoom, and they've done a really good job, and I want to commend them on their job that they've done. But everything has been uploaded and is waiting review. The water well has been obligated by FEMA, but we're waiting on TDM approval, so we're just waiting on that to come back. We also just went through a PD audit with TCOL, our commissioning agency for law enforcement, and we passed the audit with no deficiencies, which is great. They came right through. They were very pleased at our file system and how we keep everything organized and together, because that's not their normal, as he put it, not the normal thing for most PDs. Hiring status, we have our new officer who is currently in phase 2 of 4, and doing well. So night shift currently. Dispatch, our new dispatcher has completed training, is now covering the evening shift, doing a great job. Bailiff, we still don't have any applicants currently, but we're still soliciting. And then just a review of Halloween night and the Sugar Grove Trunk or Treat went really well, other than we did have a lot of heavy traffic, as everybody knows. Christmas Memories is coming around, so we're working on the IAP for the incident action plan for that. And that concludes my report.
Did council have any questions for Chief?
Just want to say thank you for adding in that the notable comments section. That was super helpful. I hope that's something we can keep, at least when there's things to be brought up, that's helpful to know what's going on kind of behind the scenes.
I know we're going to have discussion on that later on as well, but all it takes is the direction from council to let me know what you're looking for, and I'll make it happen.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions for Chief?
Great work on the audit. I know
Thank
how
you,
rare
Chief.
that is to have no deficiencies. I've heard it from other agencies, so that's a big deal.
Yes.
So thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
I hope you get some cake. All right, so we're going to move on to our next line item, which is code enforcement report. We have Angie here.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Hope everybody had a great day and welcoming this nice, crisp weather. Okay, so I have 3 pages to my report, my violation and case totals. I have open cases of 305, closed 149, cases opened 249, cases closed 190. There was one citation issued and a total of 6 weekend days worked. The proactive, I had 211, reactive 25, violations closed voluntarily 145 with 4 forced closed, and the abatement inspection were 3 with notices of 4. The notes to animal control, from animal control, there were 2. One was a cat that was impounded, and 1 dog returned to the owner through microchip. If you'll turn to page 2, my 3 top violations were the trash can bins. You can see the number of 95, there were quite a bit. High weeds, 45. Obstruction of clearance and trees, 28. Accumulation of trash, 21. Swimming pools, 1. Junk vehicle, there were 17. Still working on others. Exterior walls, repairs, replaced and painted were 3. Landscaping, 8. Repairs to damaged fence, there were 16. Tree stumps, 2. Premises identification, which is the addresses to the homes, either on the home, mailbox, or at the curb. There were 7. Signs picked up, 23. Rubbish, 5. Dumpsters, 1. The special off-street parking, this would be recreational trailers, boats, and mobile homes. There were 28. Driveway permits, 2. Foundation, 1. Minimum standards for homes, I had 2. One was on Alston, which is 12315 Alston, and the other is at 12211 Meadowdale. Window installed units, 4. Rental license, 2. Remodeling permits of 4. Non-approved car covers, 2. Moving on to the 3rd page. 12010 Dorrance. We are still doing lawn maintenance on this every 2 weeks. It's probably going to cut down because of the weather, of course, so hopefully we won't have to go and maintenance that as often. 12315 Alston. This home was permitted under permits. The permits expired, and we're waiting for the owner to come forward to see whether he's going to renew. We do have that substandard poster placed on the home, although I went by there and the poster was taken off, so I'll have to go repost a substandard poster again. There were several trees and limbs that were hanging over the sound barrier wall off of Derry Ashford. I got with several of the homeowners, and quite a bit of them were taken down. I had a lot of homeowners that were willing to help me out with that. So it's looking much better. We do have a few more that we need to work with on the Derry Ashford site. Does council have any questions?
The property on Alston.
Yes, sir.
Is that the guy that previously had a house torn down here?
That's him. Yes, sir.
You would think he would have learned by now, but apparently not.
You would think.
Do we have a mowing lien on the Dorrance Lane property, since we're taking care of that every 2 weeks?
Yes, sir. We do. Okay. Yes.
I guess, Courtney, can you get with Nick or whoever needs to, once that mowing lien gets to the value of the lot, I believe that we can force the sale.
Okay, I'll get with him. I know there's, the homeowners are deceased at that property, so we've had a hard time finding anybody for the property, but I'll get with Nick on that.
Okay, because I don't want us to get to the point where we've got more money into it than the lot is worth, and there's no way to recover it.
There is a, we're also working on getting a search warrant to do the fence on that area as well, because there is a swimming pool back there. And when we had the hurricane, part of that fence was torn down. So we're working on the search warrant to go in there and have the contractor put a partial fence up.
Any more questions for Angie? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a great
Appreciate
evening.
You
Thank
too.
you.
That brings us to our next item, which is the Fire Department Monthly Report for October 2024, and we did not receive one from Stafford. So I'm sure we'll be doing 2 months in the month of December. Which brings us to our city administrator comments, but we're going to bump that to the very end of the meeting since Nick is with P&Z. Okay? We are to public comment section of the agenda, line item E. Agenda item E, public comments. I just want to remind everybody, we have a new system for public comments. We would really like you to take a public comment card. It doesn't count for public hearings. That is a separate thing for just our normal general public comments. We'd really appreciate you just fill out this card. And if you haven't filled it out, it's not a big deal. But we would really like that moving forward, just to help us keep record of who's here and which agenda item you're talking to. Remember, public comments section has been moved to the front section so that we can hear your comments before we get to the agenda items. Okay, so I'm opening up public comment. Does anybody want to come to the microphone to talk about items on or off the agenda? I am closing public comments. We are moving to agenda item F, mayor and council comments. Rick?
The bikeway is real easy. Centerpoint has not responded to us yet. Going to number 2, Dorrance Lane, it is under construction. They seem to be moving very, very quickly compared to the last contractor. We have been told that it will be repaved and open before Thanksgiving, and then they'll break for Thanksgiving and do the next section between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, yes, they are moving very, very quickly. So we hope hope the weather cooperates and they can get that paving done.
Thank you, Rick. And that brings us to our regular agenda. We're going to start with item number 1, discussion and consideration of resolution number 2024-46, casting the city's vote for the candidates for the 2025 Fort Bend County Appraisal District Board of Directors.
Well, we can nominate, or we can vote for 5 people, and there's 5 nominees, so...
We have 10 votes to split
we've got
between
10.
the 5 nominees. So it's however you want to do that. Yes, you can split them votes however you want to split them, but you have 10 votes and 5 nominees.
Yeah, there are 5 nominees for 5 spots, though, so this is really just an exercise in futility. Do you want to make your motion?
I'll make a motion to give 2 votes to each candidate for a total of 10 votes.
I have a motion. I have a second. Is there any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
They're just happy they can get 5 people to run for the 5 slots.
All right, that brings us to agenda item number 2, discussion and consideration of resolution number 2024-47, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Lemons Auctioneers LLC and Online Pros per buy board number 70823 to auction city equipment declared surplus.
I'll make a motion that we approve this.
Kelly seconds. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Hold on real quick. For discussion, what items?
It's just the agreement.
So there's no specific items?
There's no new items. This is just the agreement we passed last year.
Okay.
And so we're just renewing it because not everything's been auctioned off.
Okay, perfect.
In the event that they bring us anything as surplus throughout the year, we can then just have them put it up on their website or put it into their next auction.
Good deal.
They do the county's work. Most of the cities around here, they do a lot of the government type auctions. Pretty much everything has gone to online because they get better participation that way.
Makes sense. Thank you.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to agenda item number 3, discussion and consideration of resolution number 2024-48, adopting a covered applications and prohibited technology policy that prohibits the installation of certain social media applications on government-owned and leased devices, and that require removal of those applications on such devices.
Question: we've already got a city rule on this. This is just to compile.
This is we do not have this current policy.
Okay.
This is per state
TikTok
legislature,
okay.
Specifically for TikTok.
Okay.
And we have met with Bright Technologies, and we'll be meeting with all staff who have city phones the first week of December. Basically, it's going to wipe everybody's phones clean, and then we'll restore them, and if there's any not allowed apps, those won't be put back on.
Okay. I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Is there any more discussion?
Essentially to ban TikTok.
Yes,
right?
this is the state mandated.
Yeah, this is to keep us out of being in trouble with the state.
Yes.
So,
goodbye TikTok.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Regular agenda item number 4, discussion and consideration of the first reading of resolution number 2024-49, declaring the incentive agreement to Meadows Place Real Estate LLC as a project and authorizing the expenditure of $90,000 for the incentive agreement to Meadows Place Real Estate LLC at 11720 West Airport, Meadows Place, Texas.
I'll make a motion that we approve this reading.
Is there any discussion?
The next one.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to regular agenda item number 5, discussion and consideration regarding the second reading of resolution number 2024-49, declaring the incentive agreement to Meadows Place Real Estate LLC as a project and authorizing the expenditure of $90,000 for the incentive agreement to Meadows Place Real Estate LLC at 11720 West Airport, Meadows Place, Texas. That is the resolution. The second reading. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion from Kurt. Do I have a second?
Second.
David seconds. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
just for the residents, there are protections for the city within this agreement that the building owner must meet in order to receive that $90,000. This is not just handing them a check for $90,000.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 6, discussion and consideration of resolution number 2024-50, authorizing a performance agreement between Meadows Place Economic Development Corporation and Meadows Place Real Estate, LLC.
I'll make a motion that we approve, and then I have a comment on it.
Okay.
I'll wait for a second. Okay. This is the actual performance agreement that came out of our last joint session with the EDC. EDC approved it last night. Our job is to confirm that. And as Rick stated, it changed the agreement to make it a performance agreement according to what's required by the EDC in order to provide. We have not presented it in detail to the owner yet, but it has been drafted by our lawyer, and once we approve it, we'll go to them for execution. If they so execute, then they have all these requirements in here as far as performance. It all has a deadline of May 15th of next year, so we put a lot of safeguards in it. We'll see if they agree.
Thank you so much, David. Is there any more discussion? All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we are moving on to agenda item number 7, discussion and consideration of resolution number 2024-51, adopting a revised city organizational chart.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Can you just explain it for the audience?
Yes, I can. This moves the building permits moving it from under the city secretary's umbrella to under the city administrator's umbrella. So Nick actually has a background in building permits, so it works really great for us to take this off the city secretary's plate and move it to Nick's plate. So we have to do it officially, so that's what we're doing here. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 8. No. Agenda item number 9. Mine. 8. I'm on 8. Discussion and consideration of ordinance number 2024-51, adding communications and building permits to the city administrator's management and oversight.
I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Matches the org chart.
Yep, that's the org chart. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 9, accept the report. Oh,
yep.
They're not here yet.
Skip over.
Go to the consent agenda. We are going to put a pin in items number 9 through 12 because all 4 of those agenda items have feedback from planning and zoning. We're moving on to the consent agenda. Consider approval of minutes. Where is it?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Is there any discussion? Excellent, great. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries.
And I guess we can go into a short recess until P&Z returns.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, we are reconvening our council meeting. We are jumping to regular agenda item number 9. Accept the report from Planning and Zoning Commission regarding a specific use permit application from AutoZone Parts Incorporated, care of Yen W. Lai P.E. per Meadows Place Code of Ordinances, Chapter 153, Section 153.94B2D2, allowing for auto part sales AutoZone on the property located at 11707 West Airport Boulevard, Meadows Place, Texas, 77477. And I've got Mr. Ulrey coming to the mic, representing P&Z.
I think it's important to note that
Ron, would you mind repeating what the vote was, just so people listening?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. So we had a split vote to approve, 5-4, 2 against. There was a lot of discussion on it, and it discussed different things, just so that we know that it was, we paid very much respect to the process and to everybody that was involved, as well as our neighbors, that we wanted to make sure that it was the right thing. There was discussion in terms of having other auto parts places on in our city limits. The dissenting of votes was that there was a feeling that we have enough of those. Also that we're landlocked, and does this add the greatest value for the property that we have undeveloped in our neighborhood, which is limited. As a whole, the remainder of votes were, I don't think that we were as concerned about that. We thought this was a good use of the property, highest and best use for what we have that's coming in, and that it should add value ultimately in terms of tax revenue and value to the area. It won't detract from other businesses coming in. We didn't feel that may be interested in coming into the other remaining spots. Do you have any questions pertaining to that? I know that was a lot of information. I just wanted to try to cover what we had, but I'm sure you have some questions.
Can we ask questions now, or do we have to wait till item 10 to discuss? Are we just accepting?
Just accepting the report. Do I have a motion?
I think you can ask questions in terms of what we discussed, though, correct?
Yeah, you can ask clarifying questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how long the lease would be for AutoZone? Were you all able to ask?
No, we didn't actually speak. We spoke with the collision company. The AutoZone did not come back and discuss with those items. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure on that.
Kurt, if you look at the ordinance, it does have a sunset clause of 5 years, and then they have to reapply for it.
Are there any more questions? Do I have a motion to accept the report from Plant P&Z?
I'll move to accept.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 10, discussion and consideration of ordinance number 2024-52 regarding a specific use permit application from AutoZone's Parts Incorporated, care of Yen W.I. P.E. per Meadows Place Code of Ordinances, Chapter 153, Section 153.94B2D2, allowing for auto parts sales. AutoZone on the property located at 11707 West Airport Boulevard, Meadows Place, Texas, 77477.
This actually was probably where we spent most of our discussion.
With this one is the discussion and consideration of AutoZone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I apologize.
You're gonna be
I wasn't listening.
You're on number 11, so you can just stay there.
Looking through the ordinance, I guess I had missed that under Section 6, time limit expiration, it talks about a five-year sunset unless they reapply, substantial damage to the location or the sale of the location. And that's what I'm a little confused about. So if I'm understanding this correctly, Billy's going to retain ownership of the building. This is just a lease space. But for some reason, if Billy were to sell to somebody else and the tenants remain the same, why would we void the special use permit? Does anybody? So Nick, the under Section 6 expiration, the sale of the location voids the special use permit. But AutoZone doesn't own the space. They're going to be leasing it from Billy. And why, if he sells to another entity, would we void the special use permit?
It's the same as direct auto, you said.
Like the specific use is only specific to this applicant, right? So if there's somebody new owning or leasing, they would have to reapply.
Correct. But what if Billy sells the building, but AutoZone the lease goes to the new owner, why would we void AutoZone's special use permit?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So if the lease was transferred to a new owner, essentially, but they still operated the use out of that building, would it,
as AutoZone,
would it run afoul of the ordinance? You know, I was just on the phone 30 seconds ago with our city attorney. Hey, Courtney,
I guess if you sell it, then it's technically new property owners.
I know it's not kosher, but I'm going to call her and see if I can put her on. What do you think? I don't think there's any reason why we can't.
Go ahead. I don't know.
We're in the discussion. Yeah.
I don't know that you.
Well, I can
ask her.
Ask her. Yeah. Hey, Heather, this is a little unconventional, but I've got you on speakerphone and you're in a city council meeting. Is that okay?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you want to repeat your question?
Sure. So, under the expiration of the special use permit for AutoZone, it's got 5 years unless they apply for an extension, substantial damage to the location, or the sale of the location. AutoZone doesn't actually own this property, they are leasing. And so why, if the owner sold the building but the lease remains in effect, would we void the special use permit of the leasee who is not changing? You know, the company's not changing, operation isn't changing.
So you'll note that that language does not automatically void the special use permit. It allows city council at their discretion to do so based upon those criteria, correct?
That's not how I read it.
Okay. I don't have it up on my computer right now, so I apologize.
It says this specific use permit shall expire upon the occurrence of any of the following. And so if it was a freestanding owned building, I could understand that. But with it being a lease space, I don't know why we would penalize the leasee when he has no say over the sale of the building.
Well, what you don't have a guarantee that the lease will continue beyond the sale of the building.
Correct, but then that.
And that's part of the reason that criteria is there.
But if the lease doesn't continue, then the SUP goes away anyway, because there's no assignment of the special use permit.
Correct.
Okay.
Is everybody good?
Are we done?
Okay, Heather, you can round us up to 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
All right, bye-bye. Sorry. It's an inside joke.
Was I supposed to laugh?
No, because it's not funny.
Well, just wasn't sure.
So is everybody good with the opinion from
The way that,
yeah.
the way the ordinance reads.
I mean, knowing Billy, I don't know that it's would change hands, but things happen. And so, in the event that we go forward and approve this SUP, I mean, we can leave it, but I would strike C.
You can do that. I mean, that it is somewhat boilerplate in the sense that when you give an SUP for a use, if it sales, then you're going to want to have a new application come forward. A specific use permit is tied to the use, not necessarily to who owns the building at any given time.
I guess, can I verify, who is the applicant? Is it Billy or is it AutoZone?
Well, if you look at the application, which is in your packets, The applicant and the owner signs off as well. I was telling this to P&Z earlier. You know, the applicant is really the tenant, but the owner has to sign off on any kind of a rezoning type application. Back to the first one.
I think the bigger discussion is, do we want to approve them in this space, right? I mean, that's, we can get into the nitty.
Let's finish that question first, and then.
I'm fine striking C, the sale of location, if we were to approve it.
Is there anybody that thinks we should keep C?
Okay, that solves that issue. Yeah. Thank you, Rick.
I guess we're looking for a motion to approve it, removing section 6C.
Correct, yeah, an amended motion, or a motion to amend.
Do I have a motion to amend and remove section 6C?
I'll move.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Kelly seconds. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Hold on, any discussion?
We have discussed a lot, which is why I didn't ask that question.
Okay.
So do we want to discuss?
So we're discussing the entire thing?
No, we're just discussing.
No, this is approving the ordinance as amended, removing section 6C.
It's the whole thing?
So it's the whole
Yes,
thing. It's not
so
just
this
the
is
amendment. Okay.
either approving, if you want to approve the use, then you're approving the ordinance as amended, or you're not approving the ordinance.
Okay. So then moving on to your question, is this something council wants in the neighborhood, in the city?
So, Rick, is your motion to approve the ordinance as amended, removing section 6C?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your motion.
Okay.
And your second.
Who was the second?
Kelly.
Kelly was.
Okay.
I don't have any concerns with this business coming in at that location. It's commercial. They're generally clean. I use O'Reilly's. I've used, all the different various auto body or auto parts places in this area. I pull in, I get what I need, whether it's oil or a part, and I leave and I go back to my house. Most people are going to do that, and we're not talking about having oil and things spilled in driveways, so I don't think that's a big concern for me.
Yeah, just for audience sake, this location is at the end of the current building where Starbucks is. They're building an additional pad on the site next to where the dental office is. Mm-hmm. So it's to the west of Starbucks, and they will use the same parking lot that's there. They will be in front of the drive lane that goes behind and goes through the Starbucks drive-through. That's the location we're talking about.
Thank you, David.
I don't think they're the best business for that spot, in my opinion. We've attracted some good businesses there, and I don't feel like this pushes up the value anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't see auto zones near nice developments, nice neighborhoods. They're normally kind of standalone, not right next to a Starbucks and a pediatric dental center. So I think we can get something that is more cohesive with that area. It doesn't seem like an auto part kind of area. I think it kind of brings down the value of the dentist office that are there when people see a part store right next to it. And I use part stores all the time, but I don't feel it's a good fit for that spot.
Yeah.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Okay, we have 3 ayes. All those opposed?
Nay.
1 nay. Motion carries. Yeah. All right. Thank you. On to agenda item number 11, accept the report from Planning and Zoning Commission regarding a specific use permit application from Corey Corbin of Collision Motor Specialists per Meadows Place Code of Ordinances, Chapter 153, Section 153.95B2C4, allowing for an auto body shop on the property located at 12002 Southwest Freeway, Meadows Place, Texas, 77477.
So we did spend most of our time discussing this, and the owner was very kind to come back and answer some of the questions we have that came out of the initial discussion in front of council and city. It was a unanimous vote to deny, but with a pause that they can resubmit. And the reason being is that in the discussion, when we looked at the SUP that was provided us, it does not include the 1 acre of parking that would be included in his business plan to be able to be successful. Our worry about that is that we would have to revisit it, or it would limit him. And from our understanding from him directly was that if he doesn't have that, he is unable to pursue this as a business option. So we wanted to make sure that we had a fair discussion on it instead of just approving what was in front of us, knowing that we may have to take another bite at the apple that may be detrimental to him, his business, and then waste our time in the process as well. So our recommendation is deny, but allow him to resubmit with a full scope of what he needs for his business.
I'll make a motion to accept P&Z's report, a recommendation, rather.
Thank you. Do I have a second? David seconds. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Because they tabled it.
Council can still consider item number 12.
Okay.
They can approve the application as is, or they can agree with P&Z and not vote at this time and allow the applicant to resubmit.
Okay. All right, I will open agenda item number 10, discussion and number 12, discussion and consideration of ordinance number 2024-53 regarding a specific use permit application from Corey Corbin of Collision Motor Specialists per Meadows Place Code of Ordinances, Chapter 153, Section 15395B2C4, allowing for an auto body shop on the property located at 12002 Southwest Freeway, Meadows Place, Texas, 77477.
I'll make a motion that we table this ordinance till we have additional input from P&Z and from the owner.
Do I have a second?
So to allow them to resubmit?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
Well, just for the owner or the applicant, do you understand what's needed as far as the resubmission and making sure you show P&Z and council your entire operation? Okay.
Can you go to the microphone, please? Thank you.
I would like to know if council could at least give me some insight of whether or not, if I did have everything submitted, what was presented to you today, would it be more of a yay or nay?
I'm fine commenting on this. You run a fantastic shop. I'm on my second Tesla. The Tesla forums speak very positively about you and your business, so that goes a long way. 4.9 on Google is incredible for an auto shop. So congrats.
Thank you.
I personally don't feel it's the best spot for your shop. And for a few reasons. none of them really related to you or your business. It's just more of, it is the very center of an entire complex that someone may want to buy or lease the entire space, and then it can't be done at that point because there's someone using 10% of the building. And if you have, no matter what business it is, whether it be an auto body shop or whatever it is, a printing shop, it kind of dictates who is going to own or lease next door. So if you've got an auto body shop, you may not, a business may say, you know what, I don't think this is the best fit for us. Our high-end restaurant isn't going to want to share a wall with an auto body shop. Or, say a school wants to buy it or lease it. They're not going to want to be in that proximity either. So I think it really ties us into a business that may not be the best one to dictate what's going to go next in the adjoining spaces. So I love your business. I love what you do. It's hard to find good auto body repair shops. I'd love for you to be in Meadows Place, but not in that spot. I truly think there's a lot of other options that would take the entire thing and do something incredible with it than trying to piece it out and have no idea what's going to come next.
Believe me, so it's actually owned by two separate people.
Yes.
Like I mentioned earlier, I had a ambulance. One of my clients want to take the whole space. I believe they spoke with the old mayor about it. I have asked Mr. Ali if he would sell me or do a land lease across the street before in that parking lot that he had. I would much rather have a standalone building, just to be clear, right? The only reason I thought this was a good place or a good spot, it's close to my home. I was asked by Porsche. They said, hey, if you get this spot, we're going to sponsor you. There are very few Porsche-sponsored places in all of Texas or even the whole U.S. It's very limited. Same with the Teslas and BMWs. I do know being in there, like what you said with AutoZone, I completely agree with you. I do think that we bring in that more high-end value. I have even Lamborghinis drop off and stuff. We do a higher caliber of vehicle.
It's true. People still see a body shop, though. That's the hard.
So that's the exact reason why we wanted all of any wrecked vehicles to be out of sight and away from the public's eye. I don't want to look as an eyesore. The front half of the body shop, I don't know if Corey had sent you that, but it looked nice. And Mr. Ali wants me to fix his front end of the building. He's not giving me any money. I am putting all my own money to make this look a lot better than the eyesore that it is. My fear is that I would rather want to know if you guys would still say okay or not, because I don't want to waste my time or anybody's time, So and that's kind of where I'm sitting. I know you're, Kurt, you're at a no because
I'm a no, and I'm sorry. I like you. I like your business. It's just, I don't think it's the right fit. And I'm in real estate, so this is how my brain works.
I much rather would be across the street in my own thing and have my own parking lot and be away from there. I mean, you have, what is that? The Discount Tire right there.
Standalone.
Yeah.
Currently easy access to the feeder road.
So my other shop that's being done in Pearland is right next to a Starbucks. Just
interesting.
Just saying. That's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, one of the things, and Rick caught it in the first one, it's the same clause in this one, and this may address one of the concerns you have, Kurt, and that is, are you okay with it being the sale of the property? You would then lose your special use permit and may have to leave that. If the property were sold, your permit basically comes to an end.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
I
at least
know
the way it's
he is.
worded right now.
Yeah, the way it's worded, that frightens me, right? I have with him, I have a 10-year lease with a contingency on your approval. You know, I've already given Sam quite a substantial amount of money just to, otherwise I would have been in front of you months ago. You know, and this is what I asked for him prior to this.
Okay.
If I could, and I'm going to address specifically what you said.
This is, state your name for the record. You're
And my
commenting on
name is
agenda item number 12.
Charles Jessup, and I am at 11919 Valencia, Meadows Place, Texas, 77477. Kurt, I think I've lived with this issue now for 17, 18 years. The two ownership thing is more than a normal real estate problem. And in my opinion, they're not going to talk. And I confirmed, I talked with Sam Ali some yesterday and some more today. They're not, he's tried to get both sides of the business, they're not, or the building, they're not working together, they're not gonna. And they've got no electrical in that back half because there's no wire, no nothing. It's standing empty and they're just sitting on it. So, I don't know. I do know right now, and I don't have my notes, we talked about it last night at the EDC meeting. Sam has other contracts let or ready to go. One of them is for, I think, how many square feet?
He didn't want it disclosed.
I asked him if I could disclose. A bouncy place, you know, like the kids' party facilities, that's almost ready to roll. And then he's got an entertainment venue with a music type entertainment venue as well that's moving into that area. So he's probably up front for that one. So he's got some stuff moving in already. He'd love to have the whole thing to rent it out all, but it's just not going to happen. So I just want to let you know that the automobile repair place is not stopping other people from moving in now that we would like to have come in.
Do those businesses require SUPs?
I should not.
From the ones I've heard that are considering, they do not. But I haven't actually seen any permits come in for the work to start them.
Okay.
And the reason this one does is because we put automotive in a package by itself.
Yep.
Now, I do have a concern, and that is, I think was being addressed, was I don't want a bunch of cars stuck out there and left. Look ugly. So I don't know how you would address that, or if you're going to put them all inside. You have enough room. I don't know. But I would like to hear some addressing on that.
That was, you had mentioned wanting the 1 acre parking across the street, right? Sure, please.
Anyway, I just want to
thank Mayor.
Yeah.
That's super helpful.
Well,
thank you.
He's filling his up.
So, being involved in P&Z and City Council since 2000, I've seen a lot of effort go into these two, or this building, or buildings, however you want to term them. And after Sam's Club and Garden Ridge left, they sat empty for, I don't know, several years, and then we had Prestige Furniture in the roofing place, and that was empty again. Getting it all leased out to one person is going to be difficult. And so I don't necessarily have that same concern for your business. I think it is going to end up as several businesses, suite type, strip center, warehouse type application. And, you know, whether it's a bounce house or whatever it is, it's still going to be several different storefronts in there. And then as far as how you deal with the junk vehicles, or I guess the wrecked vehicles that are dropped, I'd like to see that in your next resubmittal about how long they'll be over there, or how you're going to screen it, or just how you're going to deal with the dropped vehicles on your next submittal.
Okay. Well, I'll at least tell you. So I did not plan on having any wrecked vehicles in front of our main location, which is what we'd be taking. Any wrecked vehicle would stay across the street in that designated 1 acre area, covered where the general public wouldn't see it, because we use like a black mesh, out of sight, out of mind. They don't look at it. We didn't want anything bad to be seen. Other than that, once we were ready to actually work on the vehicles, we would take it inside the facility to work on it.
Get that right, you're talking about black mesh screen.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you may want to talk to the PD about how you screen that, because if you make it where they can't see in, it's going to be harder for us to help protect the vehicles for you. Beyond that, just, from your normal operation, put in your request how long you normally would have a vehicle across the street before it moves into the building. Is that a week? Is it 2 weeks?
I mean, so per like my contract with State Farm, I have to have that vehicle brought over, disassembled, and an estimate written within 24 to 48 hours, depending if it was drivable or not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but if you put in your request that vehicles, once they're dropped by the wrecker, would be over in that other lot no more than 7 working days, I think that's what council would be interested in.
Yeah, you could say 7 working days. Sometimes we do, just full transparency, sometimes we do run into litigations where somebody's insurance company was taking blame, but they couldn't get a hold of the insured, so now they have to file against their own. Other than that, I mean, we have a 48-hour process of if that vehicle is not drivable, I have to get it inside my facility within 48 hours, fully disassemble it, give it an estimate. Now, if it totals, we bring it back outside, we wait on parts, or we wait till the insurance company comes and brings it back or takes it away. Sometimes that could take a week, sometimes it could take 2 weeks. They literally don't like leaving the cars there because I charge storage to them, which was another kind of question I was asking. I know we're not so for the city of Houston, we're a body shop with storage lot privileges. I don't know if that comes into play here. We're not governed the same way as a storage facility because we don't store cars for that long.
Right. Well, for your application, I would not put in best case scenario. I would put in, what you may have happened due to that insurance claim issue.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be no longer or more than what the other 2 body shops right across the street are. They also have deals with, I know the Stern McCall Nissan does with Geico. I know that for a fact. The owner of Stern McCall, the Group 1, he's my friend's dad. Well, he just retired, but pretty well connected in my industry on here. But like I stated earlier, I would just like to know where you guys kind of fit in, because I really don't want to waste anybody's time, and I'd like to be just straightforward. And
I would not have any problem seeing a resubmittal from your business.
Okay.
I am more apt to looking at the resubmittal than I was previously after hearing from Mr. Jessup on some more information, and from Rick. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Your microphone.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's something in our ordinance, and that's something you can discuss when you submit it
Yeah, because if it's a 5 versus a 10, that scares me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something council can amend.
And it's something that council would be able to amend if asked, because that would be something I definitely would.
Well, couldn't they put that in their resubmittal too, to ask for 10?
Yeah.
So have we shared the model ordinance with them?
We can. No, I mean it's in the packet, but we can certainly give you the ordinance that is in front of council tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knowing your lease term helps.
I'd appreciate it. Because the way my thing's set up right now, if you guys say no right now, I can back out. And I'm out of time. Just to be fully transparent, I personally know one of the brothers who his family owns the back half. They wanted me in there January, but their building they didn't want to put in the money like Sam has to do the stuff with the roof, and I couldn't use their old equipment. It was too short. So that's when I met Sam, and we went to the front half, which otherwise I would have been all the way in the back, and
yeah.
What we can do is in your application, you have your email. It's Corey@CorbinDesignCo.com.
That is my, the person who set this thing up. I can share with
I also have Jimmy's email. I have your email, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can just give you that ordinance. It's public record, so obviously we can just get it to you. And if you have any heartburn with any part of it, just let us know as a part of your application. But most importantly, like we talked about back in P&Z, the exhibit to the ordinance, the map, the site plan, has to show every piece that you're actually going to be using in your business and your use.
No, and I appreciate that. I don't want to jump in this and, I'm trying to move my existing business and everything that I have there and I've built over the years over here.
Let's get the ball rolling on that reapplication. I have a motion and a second to table this.
Yes, to table and allow the applicant to submit.
Okay. I have and we want to get started on that right away because the timeline that starts the ticker. Okay.
We meet again December 17th.
Oh, okay.
So if you can get it to me, we can set a new public hearing date on the December 17th for January.
I'll get with Sam tomorrow because he was supposed to carve out where he was going to allow me to park. I think the other part of it was the other groups that were moving in. I know from the conversations I've had with him that they were going to take up majority of that parking, which was nearest to, what is that place? Nearest to the freeway, I'll just say. So I had to find out from him exactly.
Okay.
But
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, council, I appreciate your time. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Thanks, you too. I have a motion and a second. This is to table and allow him to resubmit. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. We are going to recess into wait. Oh, that's right. Back to Nick's comments. Sorry, you guys.
I know you don't want to hear me.
Up to the top, we're going to City Administrator's report.
I'm going to talk really quick. I know you don't want to hear this late, but I want to read this into the record because I'm really proud of some of this stuff. First things first, barrel reimbursements. I mentioned this to you. I want to read this into the record. And this is really giving accolades to Anna Maria and Assistant Chief Jack Ashton. We submitted $80,500 in damages to TML for damages we had during barrel. We had to pay a $15,000 deductible on that. Due to the work that they did with FEMA, FEMA has obligated to reimburse most of that deductible amount, 75% of that deductible amount. So basically, what it ends up is that on the $80,000 damages to TML, we're only on the hook for a little over $3,700, and that's remarkable. And I want to make much of that with everybody and let you guys know that a lot of hard work went into that, and so we were able to make good use of that whenever we went through that. A lot of it was due to good documentation. The second one I want to mention, mobility bond funding. You might recall that a year ago in our November 2023 election, the city had $3 million on the line on the bond. That bond was approved. Back in mid-October, we sent a packet to the county for our Dorrance Phase 2 project. It included our interlocal agreement, construction contract, our plan set, and then a nice request letter saying, can we please have some money? Last week, we officially, in our bank, received $1,835,760.80 from the county to help us with Phase 2 of Dorrance. It was great, and I want to thank Alderman Stagley for helping grease the wheels on that. I have it written down. Last Thursday at 3:28 p.m., I clicked the button, and we received $1.8 million in our bank account, and it is there. We're very happy about that.
And with as fast as the contractor's working, that's good.
Yes, it sure is. So we have the money in the bank, so we're very happy about that. And then finally, we are going to a quarterly newsletter, as we have spoken about quite often. It's going to be December, March, June, and September. We're obviously, this is a part of cost cutting in fiscal year 25. And so just wanted to make mention that we're going to be making that transition as well. That concludes my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. We are going to recess into executive session. We are reconvening from executive session. No final actions or decisions were made during executive session. We're going to discuss and take appropriate action regarding the duties of police chief, assistant police chief, and finance director.
I'll make a motion that we ask staff to come to the next council meeting with a proposal for a budget amendment to adjust as a stipend for emergency management coordinator for chief, assistant chief, and finance director.
Thank you, David. I have a motion. I have a second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. With no further business to discuss, this meeting is adjourned.